My name is Kim Brown, and I am the founder and CEO of Centrally Human. And we have a variety of different divisions at our company, but one of them is specifically to help organizations become more human-centric. So connecting digital experiences to human experiences. And so it's really important that it just doesn't become faceless technology. We like to use the technology, the data, and the digital tools to make it feel much more human and connected, which is a much more advanced way to do technology development. So in one of our clients that we were working with, we had this really advanced ask that we were trying to execute on. And so we actually found Melonleaf, and the first conversation that we had specifically with Lalit, but I think it's the whole company, is how incredible they were at translating these very kind of somewhat obtuse and subjective business needs. Not many people are thinking about being human-centric yet, into the tactical execution. And of everyone I spoke with, both in the early stages of the project and as we were looking for a great person to help us with the Salesforce piece, Lalit and his team at Melonleaf really understood that connection. And that was so critical because we were building things and executing on processes that weren't necessarily dictated or super clear with Salesforce. And so there's that executive level thinking that they brought through, which made the project and the creation so incredibly valuable. When I work with technical folks is the ability to say there's probably 1,000 ways to get to the same outcome. And what's the best user experience and what's the most optimal experience. Now, there are some individuals in the Salesforce space where that really throws them. They want a very specific list of how to get this done. With Melonleaf, they embraced that they were able to use their expertise to say, here's the most optimal way to get from point A to point C. And that's the kind of partner I really needed, because it wasn't necessarily for me. There wasn't a strict way to get there. That's really what you want your developers and your technical experts to do, is help you build that path forward. So one, they were able to take those objectives and goals and actually help map out the most optimal path forward. Secondly, we were hit with some incredibly challenging hurdles in this process. Salesforce sold us a product that actually wasn't a good fit at all. And so Melonleaf came back and said, we can actually build this custom and build it better and more exact and more to what the client actually needs and wants, to the point that even Salesforce is excited to see it. So that's an example of taking a challenge and building a creative custom solution, and they did it in less than 2 months, which is just unheard of. And then finally, when we talk about expertise, so I do have a variety of individuals that are exposed regularly in different full-time and part-time capacities to Salesforce, and they spent some volunteer hours with me, not only to help me upskill, but also just to be additional advisors on this project. And I heard over and over from them that they were blown away by Melonleaf, and they're like, I don't know where you found these, where we found Lalit and his team, but I've never seen anyone with that much expertise and that ability to communicate both in front of the client and behind the client. And wherever you found them, they're amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. They definitely know their stuff. And for me, that testimonial, and I've experienced this, but to have another Salesforce administrator say that to me speaks volumes. So highly recommend the team. When you're building teams and working on complex projects, you can find someone that's a communicator. You can find someone that's a technical expert. You can find someone with that industry domain expertise. Very rarely can you find someone who can do all three. Very rarely can you find one team that can go through and do all three. Most people who say they can do it all can't, right? They're really good at one thing and they're not very good at the other things. What's great about Melonleaf is they bring that variety of expertise to the table, so it truly feels like a one-stop shop that doesn't kind of drop the ball in a certain area. And specifically with Lalit, he actually can handle the domain expertise, the technical expertise, and the executive communication. And it's not an impossible skill, but it is a very rare skill. especially in Salesforce world. So with that, knowing that you have a leader that can sit in those spaces and sit in a client meeting and sit in a brainstorming session and then go back and translate to his team, that's actually the valuable piece that you don't find many places. I trust Melonleaf as my development partner for the long term, not only for myself and future business, but for very much trusted friends and colleagues and other business owners. Those relationships are treasured, and you really have to be careful with referrals. So absolutely, this is on my top list of referrals. The experience I've had, not only turning a project around, but doing some incredible delivery that, we're going to build into some amazing case studies, and celebrate beyond what we've even done to date, is remarkable. And so it's a source of pride to not only be able to go to market and have the confidence to say we have this great partner, but refer them to some of my deepest and closest colleagues and networks that not only need this work now, but will need it in the future.